1 in every 1,100 children are born with a facial deformity. Only a minute fraction of a percent of these children will ever have access to the surgical procedures that can offer them a life free of the overwhelming challenges and stigma of their disfigurement. I'm Dr. Max Gomez, Health and Science Editor at WNBC. The effects of a facial deformity on a child can be obvious or they can be subtle and insidious, but they are always there. These children face a lifetime of ridicule, self-consciousness, and insecurity. And the social effect of a facial deformity on a developing personality can be devastating. Alyssa Kriegsman, who has a condition called microtia, a deformity of the ear, talked about what it's been like for her.
Only other people that don't have microtia but are different get picked at. Other kids don't understand what it feels like to be different from other children. Some children only understand that.
The effect on parents is often forgotten, but no less profound. Even the strongest parents usually carry painful feelings of guilt and worry. Chantal Kriegsman, Alyssa's mother, put it this way.
It's been very difficult. It's been hard. It's been hard. Having people look at her and go, what happened? What's wrong with her? And it gets very old, explaining every day, There's times where I see her in her room and she's writing in her journal saying that she's, why do kids look at me differently? I'm not different. My mom tells me I'm not different.
In 2002, Dr. Thomas Romo, Chief of Facial Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York, founded the Little Babyface Foundation. Essentially, the mission of Babyface is to provide state-of-the-art corrective surgery to needy children with facial disfigurements, promote awareness to medical professionals, parents, and the general public, and to train surgeons in cutting-edge procedures. Through Babyface, surgical training and fellowships are made available to visiting physicians from around the country and the world. They then return to their communities where they can perform these innovative surgeries locally. Dr. Romo has brought together a diverse group of gifted surgeons, anesthesiologists, nurses, social workers, and other professionals who combine their expertise to bring these children a life-altering experience. Air transportation to and from New York is provided by Angel Flight of America, a network of private pilots. The surgical process begins with extensive pre-op testing and evaluations by the Babyface team. Babyface also takes care to meet the psychological and other needs of the patient and family to make their total experience as stress-free and positive as possible. Committee members and other volunteers act as hosts for activities, including a private VIP tour of the American Museum of Natural History, a visit to the Central Park Zoo, and New York sightseeing. Earlier in 2004, I covered the story of Eddie Hobbs, a 7-year-old Native American who became Babyface's first success story. Eddie was born without an ear canal, eardrum, or part of the middle ear space, a condition called microtia atresia. Eddie and his mother, Sandra, were flown to New York for the first of a series of 2 surgical sessions that would ultimately construct an aesthetically lifelike ear and implant a bone-anchored hearing system that would give Eddie stereo hearing for the first time in his life. In addition, Eddie would receive cosmetic dentistry to improve his already bright smile. Eddie's pre-op testing began with an extensive examination by Dr. Romo and consultation with Eddie and his mother to discuss details of the procedure. Next, Dr. Len Horowitz gave Eddie a detailed physical examination and cleared him for surgery. Then Dr. Deborah Pilla, whose specialty is pediatric dentistry, evaluated Eddie's dental condition and possibilities. Lastly, Dr. Darius Cohan examined him for the implant of the titanium bone-anchored hearing system. Together, they determined the treatment options, precautions, and other particulars for Eddie. The next morning, the Babyface team went to work. Dr. Romo completed the first of a 2-stage procedure that would ultimately give Eddie an ear that is virtually indistinguishable from a natural ear. This revolutionary procedure, pioneered by Dr. Romo, utilizes a framework of a porous polyethylene to fashion the ear. This unique synthetic material allows for the ingrowth of soft tissue. An X-ray of Eddie's existing ear acts as a template for the new ear. The framework is meticulously shaped and carved by Dr. Romo and inserted into the side of the head under a skin flap and skin graft. After 4 months of healing, Eddie was back in New York for the second and final stage of his surgical procedures, in which Dr. Romo refined the earlobe and put the finishing touches on the new ear. Next, Dr. Cohan paved the way for the Baha hearing system by inserting a titanium buttress into the bone behind Eddie's newly constructed ear. The actual hearing device would later be attached to the buttress, and sound would be conducted through the bone and go directly to the cochlea, bypassing the blocked ear canal, allowing for essentially normal hearing. Lastly, Dr. Pilla gave Eddie a new smile with bonded white crowns to replace his steel crowns and sealed his 4 adult molars to prevent cavities. A few days later, when the dressings came off, Dr. Romo activated the hearing aid, and for the first time in his young life, Eddie had bilateral hearing, a joyous and somewhat confusing moment for a young child's mind to comprehend.
Is that better, babe?
How's that better?
Yeah.
Really? All right. That's cool, huh?
Through the collective efforts of the Babyface team, Eddie Hobbs has learned to believe in miracles, but many more children are waiting for a miracle.
It's been a pleasure to introduce you to the Little Babyface Foundation. Our ability to provide state-of-the-art reconstructive surgical services on a pro bono basis has been a blessing to these families and a privilege for us. With the support of our corporate and private sectors, we will be able to continue to provide these children with state-of-the-art surgery and give them a new lease on life, as well as support our important research nationally and internationally. Again, thank you for your involvement.